don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't get it, folks. I don't get it. WWE did everything possible to build Seth Rollins up as the man. They called him the Beast Slayer. Had merchandise made. Had a nice cool graphic made for WrestleMania. Goes into WrestleMania in the opening match. Beats Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship in 4 minutes to open WrestleMania. He then goes on what will probably end up being one of the worst Universal title reigns of all time. Of all time. A title reign that made him not only Becky's bitch, but it made him Vince McMahon's bitch. This Universal title reign is not only one of the worst of all time, it absolutely killed all of Seth Rollins' credibility. Every ounce of credibility that man had has gone right down the toilet. I don't understand why WWE put so much effort and so many resources into getting the title off of Brock Lesnar, only to give it right back to him in a day and age, in a time, in this company, where change is being facilitated, where change is needed more now than ever before. Why they decide to give him the championship after all they did to take the title off of him in the first place. I hope you all enjoy the change that is coming to WWE. Because underneath all this change, all I see is the same old shit. I don't get it. The Universal title is absolutely worthless to this company. It is cursed. I don't see the value in it. Nobody that's held that title has made it mean a goddamn fucking thing. From Rollins to Owens to Lesnar to Roman Reigns himself. The God himself, Roman Reigns, not even him, has made the Universal Championship look like it belongs in this company. WWE wants change. WWE's building up Kofi Kingston to slay everybody that is thrown in his way. Put Kofi Kingston versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam and have Kofi unify these fucking titles and get rid of the Universal Championship. That's the change that we need. There really is nobody else. What does this signify, folks? Does this signify change in WWE? Does it? The answer is no. After Rollins, who else is on this roster that is going to take down in a believable fashion Brock Lesnar? They absolutely wasted everything that they did from January to April, and they felt they needed to put the title on Brock Lesnar. For what reason? For what reason? Outside of Kofi, I don't get it. Does that mean that Braun Strowman is going to once again be built up as the guy to take down Brock Lesnar? 3 years too late, bro. 3 years too late. That ship has already sailed and sunk to the bottom of the ocean. Done. I don't want to board that vessel anymore. God forbid WWE positions Roman Reigns as the next guy to take down Brock Lesnar and take that title into Fox Sports. My God. My God. I think I'm giving myself fucking cold chills right now. And it's 90 fucking degrees. Can you imagine? What does this decision mean for the company? I don't understand it. I really don't get it. What a terrible decision. And you know what? I don't know who in their right mind thinks this is a good decision. Oh, Seth Rollins and his title reign was cringe. Yes, I know. But that doesn't mean take the fucking title off of him and put it on Brock Lesnar. What happened to Bray Wyatt? Why not book Rollins and Wyatt at SummerSlam? Must we go back to the same old tired formula? Unless Brock Lesnar somehow has more dates on his contract, which I doubt, there's no one else. Or here's a good idea. Why not call up Matt Riddle? Why not call him up and have him go to SummerSlam in Toronto and take the title off the Beast? Beast Slayer my ass. The Beast's bitch is now Seth Rollins. I hope all those fucking t-shirts that WWE's sitting on make a nice fucking fire on an open campsite. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, man. Extreme Rules was a below average snooze fest. This pay-per-view was not good. It had its moments. It definitely had its moments. But overall, for a 4-hour show, this was well below average. And I expected it to be below average. You're booking 12 matches on a D-level pay-per-view, pretending it's fucking SummerSlam, with 3 weeks build. What did you expect? Stomping Grounds was actually better than this fucking shit tonight. And they had a third of the fucking audience sitting in that arena than they did the Wells Fargo Center. I enjoyed Stomping Grounds more than I did Extreme Rules. Unreal, folks. I don't know what else to say as far as Brock Lesnar goes. I really don't get it. And honestly, deep down, all I want is for their ratings to sink lower and lower and lower. I really do. I don't know who in their right mind thinks this is a right decision. And for the people who think it's a right decision, you're nothing but trolls. There's no reason. There's no way you can justify this as being a right creative decision. Fox Sports, failing ratings, Rollins' title reign being fucking miserable. All of that is excuse. This does not make any sense. Is Brock Lesnar worth 3 Universal title reigns? Get rid of it. Get rid of it. I pray to God that on Raw tomorrow, we don't get what I am fearing. Either Strowman or Roman Reigns. Nobody wants to see Rollins anymore. Rollins is no longer believable against Brock Lesnar. He's done. He is completely finished. There's no way around it. There's no way around this show being a decent show either. This was below average. It had its moments, like I said. We're going to go over the entire show right here on the podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining me here, right here on Off the Script for Extreme Rules. Folks, it's coming. It's coming. Summer Scam. Get ready for it. It's the biggest fraud of the summer. That man right there is responsible. He wants your money, and he's not going to give you what you deserve because it's the biggest fraud of the summer. Summer Scam. Get ready for it. T-shirts are on sale at barbershopwindow.com. Get your Summer Scam t-shirts today and get them before SummerSlam, man. barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Use code BSHOP20 for 20% off. Make sure you guys check out all this weekend's videos, man. I've been busy all weekend. Off the Script, Part 1. Vince McMahon reportedly not pushing his plans on Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff. Clearly, that was a false report by what we've seen tonight. Fight for the Fallen. Make sure you guys go check out my podcast and review of that. And today, I talked about Evolve 131. Great matches with Adam Cole and Akira Tozawa and Matt Riddle versus Drew Gulak. Great shit. Austin Theory and JD Drake had a great match as well. Go check out my thoughts on Evolve. Everything you need is live on the channel right now. Click the link in the annotation. Drop it down. Everything you need will be right there. The podcast tonight, I am happy to say I am signed back on with my friends over at The Ridge. Ridge.com/script. Use code SCRIPT at checkout for 10% off. You know, I always had a problem choosing a wallet or having a wallet in general. Every time I had a wallet, it would really kind of disintegrate and really deteriorate over time. It never lasted. I never felt like my cards were safe. I was always losing it. I always was fumbling around trying to find a good wallet to keep all my IDs and credit cards safe on the go. Now I got myself a Ridge. This wallet is sleek, it's a great design, and I feel safe carrying around all my information. The Ridge is a minimal front pocket wallet that's designed to streamline what you carry every single day. It has 30,000, yes, 30,000 five-star reviews, and is a better way to carry your cash and cards. There's a lifetime warranty if you love it. They'll even give you a free return if you don't. It comes in titanium, carbon fiber, aluminum, and over a dozen different styles and colors. I love how sleek it is. It has 2 metal plates bound together by a durable elastic band, and the ridge looks nothing like your traditional wallet. Like I said, titanium, carbon fiber, aluminum options ensure there's an option for everyone. I want you guys to feel the same safety and comfort by using Ridge for yourself. Use my unique link today and get 10% off worldwide shipping for free. Ridge.com/script. Once again, right here on Extreme Rules on Off the Script, Ridge.com/script. Extreme Rules 2019 started off with the pre-show. Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Finn Balor for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. First of all, this was on the pre-show. Many people say, and I do agree with them, that it did belong on the pre-show because the match came about in the worst way possible, with 6 days of nothing. WWE had this match on SmackDown Live. Nakamura beats the champion on basic television because, of course, all WWE champions look like complete fools, including Finn Balor, who has had 1 title defense on pay-per-view since WrestleMania. And that was at Super Showdown against Andrade in another match that had absolutely no build whatsoever. That also included the Demon. Finn Balor has been a complete waste to the Intercontinental Championship and a complete waste to SmackDown Live. The IC title should never be on a pre-show. Ever. Ever. Now, granted, this match had no build, so WWE probably had it in their minds. Well, nobody gives a shit about it anyway. Let's put it on the pre-show. Would you ever see the IWGP United States or the IWGP Intercontinental title on a New Japan Pro Wrestling pre-show? The answer is no. These 2 guys on a pre-show serves as all the reason I need to not get excited about the direction of both men. I don't understand any of this. On one hand, I want to like it because it does signify a fresh start. But you aren't going to make me forget that Finn Balor had only 1 title defense on a major show since WrestleMania with the IC title in Saudi Arabia. The title has been absolutely wasted, and when it should be the beacon of what a ton of talent in this company should be striving for, they're not. It's an afterthought in the entire company. If I am either Heyman or Bischoff, the mid-cards on both of these shows take center stage and get a refresh and are at the top of their priority lists. Now, does this mean that Finn Balor now begins the tease in joining AJ Styles, Gallows, and Anderson and joins the club? I don't know. Does this mean that Nakamura now is finally getting a renewed push on SmackDown Live? Why am I going to believe anything that the WWE has done here? Why am I going to believe or get excited about anything the WWE has shown us with this shit? And after all that they've shown us about how they legitimately care about the Intercontinental title, there's no hope and no excitement to be had? None. Absolutely none. I'm hoping for a fresh start for both men, but as history serves us, the first sign of excitement with WWE, the letdown, is sooner rather than later. The letdown is inevitable. Save yourself from disappointment and be very pessimistic on any direction with Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura. Knowing WWE will probably get this match again on Tuesday night. I would have saved it personally for SmackDown Live in the main event. If they wanted to do a title change, do it on SmackDown Live. Why put the title and these 2 guys and the caliber of these 2 guys on the pre-show? I don't get it. Match started off with taunting early. Nakamura did his signature, come on. Balor stopped him and did it right back to him. Started fast and similar to what happened on SmackDown Live. Nakamura went to the top rope. Finn on the apron caught him with a kick to the head. Nakamura fell to the outside. Balor did his signature dive to the outside over the top rope on Nakamura and started to throw Shin, as Michael Cole likes to call him, Shin, for whatever reason, threw Shin into the barricade, similar to what Nakamura did to him on SmackDown Live. The same exact thing, only reversed here on the pre-show for Extreme Fools. Match started slow. The match started to slow down with Nakamura grounding Balor with submissions until Finn started to make a mild comeback. Balor with a sling blade and went for his missile dropkick, and Nakamura caught him with a boot to the face. Nakamura went for the knees in the corner, his signature knees, with Balor propped up on the top rope. And Balor suddenly went for his finishing move, got caught up top. He was left hanging on the ropes, and Nakamura delivered a snap back suplex with Balor hanging off the second rope. I love that move. I'm not sure if Nakamura had always had that move in his arsenal, but I'm loving it right now in the WWE. It's a very pretty sight to do that snap suplex as he slides on out of the ring, cool, calm, and collected. Nakamura went for the Kinshasa, but Balor stopped him with a double mid-air stomp. That was pretty. Missile dropkick. Balor goes to the top for the coup de grace. He missed. He rolled through. Nakamura with one Kinshasa to the back of the head and a second one to the face. 1, 2, 3, and Shinsuke Nakamura is your new Intercontinental Champion. Does this mean that Balor's now going to tease joining the club like I said? Does this mean that Finn Balor is going to get a renewed push? Is Nakamura going to get a renewed push? I don't know. With WWE, nobody knows. But all I know is don't get excited. Because more times than not, they're going to let you down anyway. So it's best not to get excited. Nakamura, your new Intercontinental Champion. It means nothing until I physically see change. Not only for the title, not only to these guys, but the entire mid-card on SmackDown Live. Drew Gulak defeated Tony Nese. Cruiserweight Championship, he retains. Gulak had an awesome match with Matt Riddle at Evolve 131 on Saturday. I highly recommend it. If you guys missed any of that Evolve 131 show, I watched Fight for the Fallen on Saturday Night Live. I watched Evolve Sunday morning, the day after. And honestly, that Gulak-Riddle match, you take it from that Evolve show, you put it on NXT TakeOver, absolutely TakeOver worthy in my eyes. Gulak is one of the best things in all of WWE right now. His intensity and him just coming into his own is a thing of beauty to watch. Matt Riddle, he's awesome. Can't wait to see what he does going into TakeOver Toronto. But this match, just like the first match, I felt like both of these title matches on the pre-show didn't have enough time to really get anyone invested. They were just there. They had just barely enough time to get what they wanted across, and that was it. Gulak started out with a huge dropkick, hot and heavy at the start. Nese very much wanted his title back. That's what they proclaimed on commentary. Gulak gave him every opportunity to do so. Nese was the heel here, with Gulak being a Philly native. Action spilled to the outside with Gulak hitting a devastating lariat off the ring apron on Tony Nese. Action back in the ring. Nese with the German suplex into the bottom turnbuckle. Then he went for running Nese. Gulak met him with a European uppercut. Nese went for a air raid crash. We had Gulak going for the air raid crash. Nese escapes, but it left Gulak hung up in the ropes. Nese went for a second turnbuckle splash, but he did a moonsault instead on Gulak as he was hung in the ropes off the apron. Back in the ring, 450 by Nese looked brutal because he came off the top rope with the 450 and he missed it completely, but the point of his knees landed right in Gulak's gut. So that was pretty devastating. Both men started slugging away at each other, beating the shit out of each other. A series of pin attempts. Nese went for an Alabama slam. Gulak hung onto the top rope to block that. Powerbomb by Gulak, followed by a hangman's neckbreaker, and that was it for Drew Gulak. He retains the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. He redeems himself after the loss to Matt Riddle just a night ago at Evolve 131, and he is still the man on 205 Live. He's completely on another level. One of my favorite things to watch right now in WWE is Drew Gulak wrestle. This may be the best we have ever seen of Gulak in WWE. Like I said, definitely becoming one of my favorites. One of my favorite things right now on all of WWE television is Drew Gulak. Extreme Rules, the main card. Start off with Roman Reigns and The Undertaker defeating Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. No holds barred. No holds barred. Of course, the first thing that we would see with the main show is fucking Shane McMahon and hear Shane McMahon's theme music. Of course we would. I didn't expect any less from WWE and Vince McMahon. There you go, folks. Taker redeemed himself from Super Showdown. He redeemed himself from the Goldberg debacle. He looked good. Still looks in great shape. Of course, everyone's going to say he looked good. He looked great. He was in great shape. He was thin. He was moving around. He moved around a lot better than he did at Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia. Now, the match with Goldberg should have never happened. We all know that. Should have never happened. All because he looked great doesn't mean he came back because he still has it. He came back to redeem himself from that disgrace of a Goldberg match. WWE also brought him back, and I'm sure paid him a pretty penny for this Extreme Rules card, to be on this Extreme Rules card, for the simple fact that WWE didn't have a stomping grounds all over again. Because they know an Extreme Rules pay-per-view with The Undertaker looks better than an Extreme Rules card without The Undertaker. Duh. Come on, use your logic, if you have any. I doubt you do. Now, he came back simply because WWE didn't want a repeat of Stomping Grounds. They didn't want 6,000 people in the Wells Fargo Center, even though the crowd looked pretty packed today. I think it was a sellout. We'll find out during the week. And he needed out, or they needed to get out of their own failures and advertise The Undertaker in Philly at Extreme Rules. He also wanted to wash the bad taste, out of his mouth and our mouths from Saudi Arabia. He will never be able to do so. No matter how good The Undertaker was and how good The Undertaker looked tonight, he will never be able to wash the bad taste out of our mouths about that Goldberg match. We can go back and watch it as many times as we want. It will live forever on the WWE Network. And I can't unsee it. I can't. It's still fresh on my mind. But I will say this. This was more for himself than anything else, because I know he prides himself on what he does in that ring as far as his work ethic. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. This feud was garbage. This Shane McMahon bullshit's got to end. Drew McIntyre looks like a fucking bitch. He's not looking good at all in this entire thing. The video package that played at the beginning of this program tonight, the beginning of this pay-per-view, was actually a lot better than what we've seen for weeks on television. Nobody does it better than WWE. I know that, you know that, with these video packages. But this was a fun match for what it was. Crowd was hot. Undertaker looked great. He moved great. I thought it was well produced. I thought the spots were really nice. It all flowed very nicely. And that's all I'll say about it. It was a fun match. It was a good open. And it got the show started on the right notes. This was a fun match. But hopefully, all of this Shane McMahon bullshit is over and we can move on to something fresh going into SummerSlam. Saying it and then WWE actually doing it are two completely different things, and we all know that they won't, because if we get less Shane McMahon on TV, WWE's not going to be a happy camper. But less Shane McMahon is better for us because it equals better quality of shows. We'll see what happens. It will help things out a little bit if Shane is not featured as much, which I hope he is not. But seeing how Kevin Owens came out and addressed Shane McMahon, I guess we're getting Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens at SummerSlam, which I stated doesn't make sense after Kevin Owens made a mention of Shane McMahon getting too much TV time, and now he wants a match with Shane McMahon. It's defeating the purpose of taking him off television, and it's defeating the purpose of complaining about him having too much television time. So I don't know what the fucking point of that is, but we'll see what happens, and we'll see what happens going into SummerSlam. Huge video package for this match aired at the top of the show after the Extreme Rules intro, and it was honestly better than anything we've seen from the actual feud on TV with all four of these guys. By the time The Undertaker made his entrance, it was 7:14. I took notes of this. It was 7:14 when he made his entrance. He was walking down the ring. The show started at 7, folks. The show started at 7. By the time The Undertaker finished his entrance and the bell rang for his match with Roman against Shane and Drew, it was 7:18. At this moment, I knew we would be in for a long evening. Reigns and McIntyre started stiff. Same shit we've seen from them, so it's nothing new. Shane tags in, and so does Undertaker. Undertaker goes for old school. Shane stopped him. Typical Undertaker offense here. Goes up again for old school. This time he hits it. Chance of you still got it. We all know that by now, folks. We all know it by now. It's no secret why the Undertaker is back. Shane tags out. Face to face now with McIntyre and Undertaker. Blow for blow, McIntyre clotheslines Taker over the top rope, lands on his feet. Typical Undertaker. If you've been watching him for all these years, clothesline over the top, lands on his feet, drags his opponent outside, and that's exactly what he did. Dragged McIntyre outside, shoved him into the ring apron. Reigns and McIntyre back in. Shane holds the top rope, and Reigns goes over the top rope off an Irish whip and hits the ground hard. Undertaker came over and asked for a steel chair, chased Shane McMahon completely to the back. Shane comes back as Reigns is the recipient of frequent tags and 100% offense from Shane and Drew at this point. McIntyre, later on, hits the steel post, shoulder first, after Reigns delivered a Samoan drop, tags in Undertaker, Drew tags in Shane, Undertaker with his signature offense on Shane, snake eyes, big boot, then pulled the American announce table apart. This is where things were getting a little extreme, if you even want to call it that. Taker going for last ride on Shane, but Elias comes out of nowhere and smashes a guitar over the Undertaker's back and stops the last ride. Reigns comes to try and make a save, but McIntyre delivers a huge Claymore kick. I think Roman's head is still rolling at the Wells Fargo Center. Taker back up, wanted to chokeslam Elias through the table. Drew hits Taker with a Claymore. Shane wants Drew to put Taker through the table. Or Shane wants Drew to put Taker through the table. They place him on the announce table. Now, I thought this was going to be for Drew and Drew only. We get Shane climbing the top rope in the ring. He jumps off with a huge elbow drop through the announce table, and he delivers his patented elbow. Nothing new here, folks. Tough to get excited about something we've seen 10,000 fucking times before from Shane McMahon. Undertaker was then dragged into the ring, into the corner. Shane grabs a trash can, sets it up on Undertaker's face, goes up top, coast to coast, and he actually hits it. Reigns comes around the ring, hits a Superman punch on Elias on the outside. Drew with a side Russian leg sweep on Reigns on the concrete. Taker sits up, chokeslam Shane, chokeslam to Elias. There was a camera shot. Kevin Dunn. Camera shot by Kevin Dunn was actually pretty fucking awesome. Undertaker was standing there after he did what he did, and Drew McIntyre was pictured in the background. And he was getting ready for a Claymore kick, man. That over-the-shoulder shot of McIntyre just waiting and fucking drooling, wanting to deliver a Claymore kick to Undertaker, man, was fucking gorgeous. What a gorgeous shot that was. It looked completely epic. Reigns came out of nowhere, hit his spear before he could hit the Claymore on Undertaker. Reigns yells at Shane, "It's all over now. I hope." Throws him into a tombstone by Undertaker. First one was botched. I don't know what happened there. I was having flashbacks of Saudi Arabia for a second. Then he got the tombstone on Shane. Went off with it. 1, 2, 3. Undertaker and Roman Reigns win here at Extreme Rules. It was a fun match for what it was. Hopefully, it is all over. The Revival defeated the Usos. Raw Tag Team titles. This one fell flat, folks. This one had no juice going into it. WWE failed on what should have been a classic feud over the Raw Tag Team titles. One could only hope, with the Revival beating the Usos here and retaining the titles, that the War Raiders get a chance against the Revival. But it's going to take a lot of work for the fans to believe in the War Raiders because WWE killed them before they even got started. WWE fucked this up. It had no juice in it. Crowd was pretty much dead for the majority of this match. This is what they get for presenting Usi hot. And then, like an idiot, Renee Young says that this is one of the greatest feuds in tag team wrestling today. Yes, I'm sure people are clamoring down aisle 7 for fucking Usi hot. You fucked it up. Nobody believes in them anymore, and both of these teams are ice cold, which is a shame, because the Usos were the hottest thing in WWE at one point or another. They go to Monday Night Raw, and like everything else on that show, someone dies. The Uso Penitentiary is Raw, legitimately. Dawson starts off with Jay. They go at it. They trade quick pin attempts early on. Jimmy tags in for a quick double team and a 2 count. Dawson counters in. In comes Wilder. Some double team offense. Jimmy fights them off. Usos make a tag and double team dash with kicks in the corner. Dawson pulls Dash to the floor to avoid a double super kick, but the Usos dive over the top rope for a huge suicide dive. At this point, they dove over the top rope. Jimmy Uso's head hit the back of the American announce table so hard, I legitimately thought he was injured. It looked brutal. That dive really was a complete miscue. But they don't have much room on that side of the ring anyway. Don't know why they don't do it on the opposite side where they have more room to fly. But that didn't look good for poor Jimmy Uso. Jey Uso was thrown into the barricade as well, and the Revival took over from this point on. Jey Uso was isolated in the Revival's corner. They're working this match to their pace. Very methodical. Jey tried to escape. Wilder tags Dawson in. Jey tried to escape again, but Wilder distracted the referee. Jimmy was tagged in, but the referee didn't see the tag. I like that. I like that mechanic in tag team matches, man. The referee doesn't see the tag. We all see it when we're watching at home. The crowd sees it. Referee says, no, 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 no. Nice way to garner some heel heat for the heels in a tag team match. An old school method that I enjoy very much. Dawson has Jey on the top rope. They were jockeying for position, and Dawson was up top and tumbled down and bounced off the top rope back first. He looked like a fucking slinky. That had to hurt. I know he's feeling that. That didn't look pretty whatsoever. It looked pretty scary if you ask me. He was okay, though, because he got right back up. Jimmy in now off the tag, taking care of both members of the Revival until Wilder hit a beautiful sit-out powerbomb. Dawson tagged back in. Jimmy continued to fight back and corkscrewed himself off the top rope to take out both members of the Revival. Suplex by Dawson on Jey. Splash by Wilder. Cover broken up by Jimmy. All 4 guys now in each corner of the ring at a complete fucking gunslinger standoff. Jey with 2 super kicks to the Revival. Jimmy tags in. They run the ropes to do a double splash on Dash, but Dawson trips over one of the Usos. Dash goes at it with Jimmy. Dawson tags in, and they hit the Shatter Machine eventually to get the pin and retain, as Jey tried at the last second but missed to break up that tag. The Shatter Machine does it, and the Revival retain the Raw Tag Team Championships. It fell flat, and I don't know why I have to sit here and say that when you have legit 2 of the best tag teams in the world on your brand. That's a shame for me to be saying that. This fell flat. It had no juice. The crowd didn't care. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it means nothing at this point. Make tag team wrestling important again on Raw. There's no reason why we have to get this match over and over and over again for the majority of the year so far, and no new teams have come forth to challenge the Revival for the tag team titles. And the only reason why the Revival are still tag team champions is because the WWE and WWE management is trying to butter them up so that they don't go to AEW. This is fact, folks. This is fact. Get used to it. What is also a fact is Aleister Black is awesome. I love Aleister Black, man. He defeated Cesaro via pinfall in a 10-minute match, but this match, I loved it. This was a great match, and exactly what I wanted out of a first match for Aleister Black under this soft reset of Aleister. Cesaro got the pay-per-view jobbers entrance here, where they announced all the foreign announcers during the ring entrance. Cesaro was the recipient of that. No longer is it the Revival. Cesaro got it. So at that point, I knew he was losing the match anyway. I knew he was losing because this is Aleister Black's quote-unquote first match back. So even though that was the case, I knew he was losing, but they pretty much stamped an exclamation point on that when they gave Cesaro the pay-per-view jobbers entrance. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's when the entrance happens while WWE and Michael Cole are announcing all the line of the foreign announce teams sitting off to the side. That's the jobbers pay-per-view entrance. Watch for it. It happens every show. Black went for a black mass immediately. Cesaro went for a neutralizer immediately. Black escapes. Cesaro then sits and mocks Aleister Black Indian style. Action's built to the outside. Black does his signature moonsault on Cesaro to the outside. Back in the ring. Meteora off the top rope by Black for a 2 count. Black went for a black mass again. Cesaro stopped it. Black went for his moonsault in the ring, and Cesaro shoved him over the ropes to the outside. Back in the ring, Cesaro went for a springboard uppercut, nailed it for a 2 count. Cesaro continued to keep Aleister grounded after Black showed some promise early on. That was stopped. Aleister fought out, went for a moonsault again. This time he hit it off the springboard, second rope. Black went for a top rope Meteora again. Cesaro caught him mid-air. Just picture Aleister Black coming off the top rope with his knees in a Meteora. Cesaro caught him by his knees and threw him in the air for an uppercut. One of my favorite spots of the entire show. Both men trading shots. Aleister was focusing on Cesaro's left hamstring. That was a thing that he focused on for the majority of this match. Cesaro went for another springboard uppercut. Black caught him with a huge V-trigger knee. Black then applied a knee bar on Cesaro. Cesaro turned it into a sharpshooter, transitioned from the sharpshooter to a crossface. Black escaped by punching his way out, focusing on Cesaro's hamstring again. Cesaro seemed to be getting frustrated and delivered a flurry of uppercuts. Black fought back with some kicks, blocking some of Cesaro's attacks in the meantime, and literally mixed into all this barrage of kicks and punches and elbows. Black mass out of nowhere, and that was it. Nobody kicks out. 1, 2, 3. Aleister Black gets his first quote-unquote singles win on the WWE main roster. This is exactly what it needed to be. Perfect opponent for Aleister Black. I wouldn't mind another go, but everybody's complaining about, oh, this is a bad spot for Cesaro. This was a bad spot. His push was ruined. You know, they gave him so much promise, and then they fed him like a jobber to Aleister Black. Who did you want? Who did you want in that spot? Ali? Andrade? Buddy Murphy? How about Cedric Alexander? Who are you going to put in that spot? Cesaro was the perfect opponent. He takes nothing. He takes nothing from this loss. He is a beast. And he's the perfect opponent for Aleister Black as his first quote-unquote opponent on SmackDown Live. I thought it was great. It did the job. I look forward to another match between the two. It's probably going to happen on SmackDown Live. Bayley versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, SmackDown Live Women's title. This match was awful. Awful. I did not care about any of this whatsoever. Now, everybody thought Sasha Banks was going to show up, me included. We all looked like fools. We were all wrong. Every single one of us that said Sasha's going to come out and help Bayley, we were all wrong. And in fact, I'm glad I'm wrong. I don't want Sasha to come back, period. Because nothing's changing. Nothing will change. WWE will manipulate her and convince her to come back. Meanwhile, it's the same old shit. Bayley rolls Nikki into a modified figure 4. This match was completely awful, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. I'm going to be mentioning that a lot during this match. It was fucking boring. Boring. Which is sad, because I love Nikki Cross. Bayley rolls Nikki into a modified figure 4, or some sort of leg lock in the middle of the ring. Bliss, who was tossed to the outside earlier before this, runs in to break this submission hold up, misses a knee drop. She went to knee drop Bayley. Bayley moved out of the way. I'm sure Alexa Bliss is very good on her knees, if you know what I mean. She was just standing there on her knees, or sitting there, I should say, on her knees, and she was waiting, which looked completely bizarre, completely out of place. Bayley was just waiting and waiting and waiting. Couple seconds too long, it looked completely out of place. Bayley waited until she applied a crossface on Alexa Bliss, which, like I said, looked awkward. Bayley had 2 submissions applied on both Cross and Bliss at the same time. Bliss escapes, comes back in and breaks the hold on Nikki Cross as the referee tries to restore order here in this match. Cross ends up hitting a tornado DDT on Bayley for a 2 count. Bliss tags in, goes to the top for Twisted Bliss, but Bayley gets her knees up. Cross tags in, goes back to the top. Bayley knees her in midair. She goes to the top and hits a flying elbow on Cross, and that is it. Pins Nikki Cross to retain the SmackDown Live Women's title. I hope that this does not mean that Alexa Bliss was not pinned. She's going to blame it all on Nikki Cross and get another title shot at SummerSlam. God forbid we get that. I could see it happening. I'm sure Alexa Bliss is going to blame Nikki Cross for her shortcomings here. I didn't need you. I didn't want you. Give me another title shot. Blah, 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 blah. We get this shit happening all over again in Toronto. God forbid. End it. Bayley and Ember Moon is where it's at. Or better yet, how about we take fucking Asuka away from the fucking Kabuki Warriors and put Asuka against Bayley at SummerSlam as a heel? Wow. How about that one? Nobody would have a problem with that. God forbid it's Alexa, or worse yet, Charlotte, which I could absolutely see. Here comes the queen. Here comes the queen. I need my title shot. For what? All because you had your batteries recharged over the last couple of weeks? Now you deserve a fucking title shot? What do you got, that new ionized battery? Who gives a shit? You've done nothing. Nothing. I hope to God not, man. The women's division, not only on Raw, but on SmackDown, is fucking awful. Absolutely awful. Why cannot Ember Moon get a title shot? I don't understand it. Build Ember Moon up and put her against Bayley. Or Becky Lynch. Anybody. I don't give a fuck who you put her in the ring against. Put her in an important role. Asuka is wasting away. Can you imagine Asuka in fucking AEW? WWE's gonna fucking cry a river of salty tears when this woman leaves because you've done nothing with her but mock her. When she goes to AEW and is putting on fucking 5-star classics with Priestley, then I want to see them fucking complain. Give me a break. Asuka, Bayley, Ember, whatever. Asuka, Becky, something. Give me something that is not the fucking ordinary that we expect. Enough of these blondes. Give me women's matches that fucking matter post Ronda Rousey. That's all I want. This is a segment of the show that is completely channel changing. Nobody gives a shit. This was one of the worst matches of the entire year. This did not belong on the show. It brought the overall pay-per-view down. It had no business being on this show. I would have much rather Nakamura and Balor in this spot and this on the pre-show. But you can't do that because Alexa Bliss is good on her knees and she's blonde. Braun Strowman defeated Bobby Lashley in a last man standing match. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Holy shit, man, did this match drag the fuck on. I wanted it to end, and when I thought it was ending, it was still going. Unreal. They tried so desperately to create an atmosphere to follow that LED explosion a couple of weeks ago, and they failed miserably at it. The funny thing is, some of you said that you had fun watching this, which is fine. I'm not going to tell you what your idea of fun should be. My idea of fun and your idea of fun is different. My idea of a good wrestling match, or in this case, a good last man standing match, is different than yours. Nothing wrong with that. I did not have fun during this. Typical Braun Strowman garbage, which honestly was an embarrassment to the term extreme. With an ending that actually took away from the match for me, instead of adding to the overall atmosphere of the match. Even the stuff in the concourse level by the concessions and the merchandise dragged and added nothing to the overall match. It just dragged and dragged and dragged. Now, what do you see differently here, folks, compared to Monday Night Raw? Did you see anything differently compared to what Braun Strowman normally does? Did you see anything different compared to what Braun Strowman has done differently in the past 3 years in this match? Absolutely nothing. What is the difference? What is the difference here from these guys that you haven't seen on Raw? In fact, the LED explosion was the peak. WWE failed at trying to recreate that and didn't even come close to what they did on Monday Night Raw a couple of weeks ago, with Strowman especially. The fans are chanting ECW during this match. You got some fucking balls to chant ECW during this match because even though you thought this was extreme, I don't know how. That doesn't mean I thought it was extreme. If you thought this was extreme, go back home and hand in your fan wrestling card. Seriously. This was not extreme. You want a last man standing match with some inspiration and creativity, you go watch Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa last year. That's all I have to mention there. This is hopefully moving both of these guys on to completely different things. I hope this moves Strowman on to something else in which we can actually see him in a non-gimmick match. Hopefully this moves Bobby Lashley to another fucking promotion and off of Raw. Fucking worthless. This guy's absolutely worthless. The most funniest thing I've seen all night was when this match was over. People were claiming that Braun Strowman should be the Universal Champion on Monday Night Raw. I shit you not. People were wanting Braun Strowman as the Universal Champion or to get a shot at the Universal Championship after this win over Bobby Lashley. Who was Bobby Lashley for Braun Strowman to beat, where Braun Strowman deserves a Universal Championship match? One person tweets this, and then it grows like a fucking disease. You're a bunch of idiots. A bunch of idiots. It's like everybody follows the one disease, and it spreads all over social media. If you want Raw and its main event to be worse than it is now, then by all means make Braun Strowman your Universal Champion. If you want change, if you want true change, then it wouldn't be that wise of a decision to put the title on someone who can't fucking wrestle a one-on-one match without a fucking stipulation. You fucking clowns. Jesus Christ. The only thing that Braun Strowman knows how to do is destroy shit. God, give him the fucking Universal title and he'll destroy the one thing that he hasn't destroyed on his own. Raw. Braun took a little bit to come through the curtain. He teased coming in to the arena as if he wasn't there. Started out stiff. Big splash by Strowman in the corner. Lashley rolls to the outside to break the 10 count. Strowman did his signature around the ring shoulder tackle. He hit it. Tried it again, and Lashley met him with a spear on the outside. Strowman makes it to the 10 count. Lashley takes the steel steps, smashes them across Strowman's shoulder. Strowman's up. Lashley again with the steps, this time knocking Strowman over the barricade on the announcer's side. In the crowd now, both are battling up the steps into the crowd, and they disappear into the concessions area. Hot dogs, hamburgers, fucking $12 Cokes all flying all over the place. Not really. But Lashley throws Strowman into a cement wall. It doesn't break. Lashley pissed. He flips a merchandise table in the process. I would too if I seen the new Graveyard Dogs t-shirt. Strowman throws Lashley into the backdrop of said merchandise stand, knocking shirts and hats all over the place. I'll take a new AJ Styles hat. This one's faded. They start walking back towards the ring. Strowman and Lashley down front row. Strowman charges. Huge shoulder tackle. Lashley makes the 10 count at an 8. Lashley then takes Strowman and smashes him through the barricade with a spear. Cool looking spot. Strowman then tackled over the announce table on the German side. Lashley flips it. And he flips the table over on Strowman so he can't get up. But Strowman crawled out of the rubble anyway and got to his feet to make the 10 count. Lashley at this point thought he was a fucking cruiserweight. Oh, because he beat Rey Mysterio, he felt like he garnered the power of Rey Mysterio. Bobby Lashley tried to jump on the barricade in one fluid motion and launch himself onto Strowman. He fucking slipped. Thank God he landed on his feet, and thank God he didn't tear a goddamn ligament. That looks scary. I don't know what the fuck he was doing there, but thank God he landed on his feet. Strowman eventually caught him and threw him into all of the foreign announce tables on the other side of the arena. Strowman takes Lashley up another set of stairs into the crowd. Lashley actually shoved a fan into Strowman to distract him, which was obviously a fucking plant. Not really going to put your hands on a real fan. This was an enhancement talent for sure. Strowman looks down, sees a big drop in front of him. Fans are pointing all, oh, drop him, right? So Strowman scoops Lashley up. Lashley's fighting off. He eventually fights off Lashley. Strowman scoops Lashley up on his shoulders and delivers a huge power slam off the ledge through whatever down below. We couldn't see it. We got a glimpse of what it looked like. It looked like cheap cardboard. Fans chant, holy shit. Referee's counting. Fans are chanting, holy shit, and ECW. The referee continues to count. We can't even see where these guys disappeared to. And then Strowman breaks through the fucking wall as if he's the fucking Kool-Aid man and makes the 10 count while Lashley's buried under the cardboard rubble. And he doesn't make the 10 count. Braun Strowman wins the last man standing match. We never see Lashley reappear again. I don't know why people thought this was fun, folks. This was actually fucking lame. This was really fucking lame. That ending did nothing for me at all. It actually took away from the overall match and made it cringe. I don't know why anybody enjoyed this as much as they did. I don't know why you thought that this was extreme or holy shit. I never want to hear another holy shit chant from fucking wrestling fans again because you clearly don't know what the fuck holy shit means. And Braun Strowman does not belong anywhere near the Universal title after beating fucking Bobby Lashley. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. Take several steps back from what you're thinking there. Doesn't need to happen. In fact, it's going to make Monday Night Raw worse than it already is. And how that's even fucking possible is beyond me. We're going to talk about the tag team title match. Daniel Bryan, Rowan, New Day, and Heavy Machinery for the SmackDown Live tag team titles. But I got to shout out my friends over at Audible. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Make sure you guys check out Audible for your free audiobook and 30 days free of Audible service, man. All you got to do is the following. Use our unique link there, audibletrial.com/offthescript. Make sure you guys go and download Audible's app on iPhone or Android devices from iTunes or Google Play. You're going to go through the sign-up process. You will not be billed in the process. 30 days and one free audiobook is yours for free. The best part is, if you guys feel like Audible's not for you, or you don't want Audible because you can't read, you guys can cancel or not listen. Well, actually, you're not going to be reading. You're going to be listening. There's no reading involved, folks, so good for you. If you don't want to listen or you don't want to pay for Audible service after the 30 days, you guys can cancel on day 1, on day 6, on day 12, on day 30. Anytime in between that 30-day grace period, you can cancel anytime and still get to keep your audiobook for free. audibletrial.com/offthescript. SmackDown Live tag team titles, Daniel Bryan and Rowan, the planet's greatest tag team, versus the New Day. This was Xavier Woods and Big E Langston, better known as Big E, and Heavy Machinery, Otis and Tucker. Now, I want change in WWE more so than anybody else, folks. Change, to me, would be trying to find some new talent and push them as your top stars. Have faith in the new talent. The new talent called them from NXT. I would have given the team of Heavy Machinery the tag team titles here in this match. But WWE somehow hired Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff to change Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. That change that we're seeing is coming in the way of the New Day getting a 6-time tag team title reign on SmackDown Live. The New Day defeat Bryan and Rowan and Heavy Machinery to once again capture the SmackDown Live tag team championships. WWE seems to be changing their own rules for the triple threat match, folks. I remember as if it was my fucking grandfather's name that the WWE had triple threat tag team matches and 3 members, 1 member of each team was in the ring during WWE triple threat tag team matches. Normally, they feature 3 guys in the ring at the same time. Now they're taking a page out of the AEW playbook, and Michael Cole made it a mention on commentary. Only 2 members are allowed in the ring. You can tag anybody in that you want. They're taking a play out of the AEW playbook, being that we've gotten some damn good tag team wrestling coming out of Jacksonville as of late. So moving on with this tag team match, man. Daniel Bryan jumped off the top rope with a headbutt for a nice move on Big E Langston. Applied the label lock in the middle of the ring. He torqued on Big E's right leg at the same time. Big E dragged himself underneath the bottom rope. He dragged himself through the rope, but there's no rope break because this triple threat match is no disqualification. So he dragged himself underneath the bottom rope, and Daniel Bryan eventually gave up on the hold. So Bryan gave Big E a series of yes kicks, or I would say just kicks because the yes thing is dead. So Big E stood up. He got in Bryan's face. He was completely agitated with all these kicks. And Bryan slapped him. Big E told him to do it again. He did. Big E fired back with some short arm clotheslines. He dropped his straps. He caught Bryan midair. Xavier tagged in. They delivered the midnight hour for the win. And the New Day are your new SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. This was probably the most fun match of the entire night. This is probably my favorite match of the entire evening, period. But I don't get the idea of the New Day winning the Tag Team Championships here. This does not signify change, folks. This does not signify change whatsoever. And people are telling me on social media, because you gotta always argue over something that I say because you think you're fucking cool. You're not. The New Day does not deserve another title reign. They've seen their day. Their new day is now an old day. A new day would be fresh fucking talent being pushed as your tag team champions. What is going to get accomplished as the New Day hold a 6th title reign on SmackDown Live? What do you do now? Are you going to go back to the New Day versus the Usos on SmackDown Live? I don't get it. What does this signify? It signifies nothing. It signifies that there's no change in WWE. It signifies that WWE doesn't trust anybody outside of their fucking tired and true favorites. Give me a break. I think the New Day are great when they want to show their serious side. They are a great tag team. But that doesn't mean that they deserve it. That doesn't mean that you got to give the New Day the tag team titles. That doesn't mean you got to play it safe. WWE's played it safe for too long. Go out there and make some new stars. All this signifies to me is that WWE doesn't trust any of the new stars whatsoever. I would have given the titles to Otis and Tucker. They're over. The titles would have looked better on them. The titles would have done them better. I wouldn't have even taken them if another decision was to be made. If you didn't want to give them to Heavy Machinery, why take them over Bryan and Rowan? They've looked like losers with the tag team championships. Absolute losers. They haven't had a good title reign at all on SmackDown Live. Does Bryan move into the world title picture? Does he get his world title back against Kofi now at SummerSlam? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know why you would break Bryan away from Rowan, because that's going to leave Rowan with nothing. That's going to make the tag team division look even weaker than it already is, because you've only pushed 3 fucking teams on SmackDown Live. You take one of them away, all you got is Heavy Machinery and the New Day. That doesn't constitute as a tag team division, guys. That doesn't constitute as a tag team division. Oh, the wild card. No. No wild card. Fuck the wild card. These shows need separate rosters. Tag team division, tag team division. Get to work! This is not change. This is tired and true, same old shit. WWE not believing in the talent, the new talent that they have on the roster, ready to break out and become stars. This is why WWE fails to create new stars, because of shit like this. I don't agree with this, and I think this is a bad booking decision as far as the tag team titles go. AJ Styles defeated Ricochet to become the new United States Champion. Really now, what did I just tell you about Heavy Machinery and the New Day winning the tag team titles? Does WWE trust the new talent coming into WWE on the main roster? They gave poor Ricochet a great documentary on the WWE Network. Next thing you know, they're taking the United States Championship off of him. I hope it's for a good fucking reason. When I stated this past week that WWE has killed my excitement for this feud and this match, I was not joking. Ricochet's title reign was worthless. Absolutely worthless. It goes from Joe to Mysterio, back to Joe. Joe has held it basically no days. Goes right back to Ricochet, and now back to AJ Styles. Hot potato is the U.S. title. Let's call Titus Catering and put some fucking sour cream and some butter and some fucking chives and bacon and cheese on this motherfucker. Are you fucking kidding me? U.S. title is worthless. This fucking bottle of clear American peach seltzer at 59 cents is worth more than the fucking United States Championship. Awful. His title reign was a complete waste of everybody's time. What did it accomplish? Did AJ Styles need the United States Championship? I don't think so. He aligned himself with 2 other fucking losers in a beloved stable. Did he need any more momentum for himself? The answer is no, folks. The answer is no. Where is the fresh start to these shows? Where? I'm still waiting for it. Does this signify a fresh start to you going into Monday Night Raw SmackDown Live with Heyman and Bischoff starting this week? Reportedly? No. The answer is no. Instead of building up Ricochet as a credible champion, you have him embark on a lackluster reign for 3 fucking weeks. 3 weeks, folks. That's all the United States Championship and Ricochet is worth on the main roster. A lackluster reign similar to Samoa Joe, and instead give it to AJ Styles and give him a title that he doesn't need whatsoever to establish him when he is already established, and now especially with a reunion of the club backing him. It just goes to show you that WWE just doesn't want change. They don't want to let the young talent shine, and they don't trust the newer crop of NXT talent that has come up. Otherwise, things would be vastly different. Triple H creates, Vince McMahon fucking kills. Now, Now, let's think about this for a second, because it's in my fucking notes, man. Let's think about it for a second. Let me see someone fucking combat me on this, you cretins. AJ Styles was a babyface. Let's think back to before the club was reunited 3 years too late, by the way. Didn't AJ Styles defeat Ricochet on Raw as a babyface to set this match up? I know he did, right? Or am I losing my mind? He set this match up by defeating Ricochet as a babyface. No help needed. He didn't have the club then. In fact, I think they were ushered to the back. He had nobody to defeat Ricochet with. He beat him on his own. That was the first Raw after Stomping Grounds, if I am not mistaken. I know because I complained about it and ranted about it on the Raw review that night. AJ Styles was a babyface. He didn't need any help. Tonight, AJ needed the help of two men in his corner to beat Ricochet for the United States Championship. I don't like to throw the word around, but I'm going to use it here, folks. B-U-R-I-E-D. What does it spell? Buried. I can have my own fucking Firefly Funhouse. Today's word of the week? Buried. Ricochet. Put a picture of Ricochet right next to the fucking word. Buried. The guy is buried, folks. I don't give a shit about anything anybody has to tell me. Now, I don't know if it was just me. This match was incredibly slow. It reminded me of Styles versus Nakamura last year at WrestleMania. It never got out of second gear. I texted my friends, am I the only one who feels this bored about this fucking match? Or is it just me? Everybody felt the same way. It felt incredibly uninspired, and it felt like both of them were either handcuffed from going as hard as I know they can, or it was simply just a setup for what is to come at SummerSlam. I hope so. Ricochet just feels flat on the main roster and is nowhere near what Triple H did with him in NXT. In NXT, he was special. On the main roster, someone with his potential just feels like everyone else ordinary. Triple H creates, Vince McMahon fucking kills. Nobody is ever the same when they leave Triple H's nest. Ricochet is the next fucking example to that true statement. This match was not as good as people thought it was. This was downright boring. If this does not lead to Ricochet and AJ Styles in the ladder match at SummerSlam, because Ricochet lost the title because of fucking help in AJ Styles' corner, I don't know where they go with this. Don't know why you gave the title to Ricochet to begin with if you were only going to take it off of him 3 weeks later. Only to put it back on him, maybe, at SummerSlam. What's with the hot potato of the titles? That doesn't make a good champion, folks. That doesn't make a good title reign. The hot potatoing of a title is not good television. That just goes to show you that WWE is incapable of booking champions correctly. Babyface champions at that. Which they always have a fucking problem with. Ricochet did his signature flip during the ring entrance, and as soon as he came back down, Gallows and Anderson attacked him. That was before the bell rang. As soon as the bell rang, AJ took advantage. Ricochet head scissors, drop kick, AJ on the outside. Ricochet teased the dive, held on to the ropes, did a running shooting star press off the ring apron. Gallows and Anderson got involved. AJ takes advantage and throws Ricochet shoulder first into the steps and maintains control. Ricochet steps off of AJ Styles' chest in the middle of the ring. Delivers an enziguri. Beautiful spot. Tries to make a comeback. Springboard clothesline to AJ. Jumps up top. Takes out Gallows with a crossbody. Just out of nowhere. Back in the ring. Springboard moonsault on AJ for a 2 count. Ricochet's Northern Light suplex into a brainbuster is simply beautiful. Styles took a Ricochet off the top rope. Ushigoroshi to the back of the knee by Styles. Styles back suplex Ricochet into the corner, and he legitimately superplexed him into the corner, and he landed in a tree of woe position. Pretty cool spot. Styles went for a phenomenal forearm, missed it, rolled through, hit Ricochet with a facebuster for a 2 count. Ricochet countered Styles, or he did counter Styles, and the Styles clash with a pinfall reversal. Both guys now blow for blow. Pele kick, 2 brainbusters by Styles for a 2 count. Styles places Ricochet on the top rope. Styles was knocked off. Styles jumped back up, throws AJ across the rope. The top rope, that is. Ricochet back up and hits a beautiful shooting star press. That would have been it, but Carl Anderson stated that Styles' foot was underneath the rope, and he yelled at the referee to look before making the 3 count. Ricochet was back up top, wanted to finish it off. He dives towards Anderson, who leapt on top of the apron. He misses, And he goes back up top. Gallows crotches Ricochet. Styles goes up top. Second rope Styles clash. And Styles wins the United States Championship. So Carl Anderson provided the distraction. Made Ricochet jump off the apron. He jumped off. He jumped back on. Gallows on the other side. Distracted him enough for Styles to jump up to the top rope and deliver a second rope Styles clash, and that was it. I'm assuming this is going to lead to a ladder match at SummerSlam between Styles and Ricochet, and if the handcuffs are still on there, then God help us all. There's no saving these guys whatsoever. This was boring. Very slow, and not what I was anticipating with a Ricochet main roster debut. I figured with a match with Styles, it would fucking tear the building down in Philadelphia. It did nowhere near that tonight at Extreme Rules. Kevin Owens defeated Dolph Ziggler. Folks, if I said to you that this match lasted 5 seconds, would you believe me? Of course you would, because it's fucking Dolph Ziggler. This match lasted 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Bell rang, stunner, that's it. I kid you not. Should I go into more detail? Stunner, that's it. They talk trash, stunner, and that was it. Kevin Owens got on the microphone and said that what he said on SmackDown Live, he stands behind everything he stated. Good. Shane McMahon's getting too much television time, so let's book him in a fucking match with Kevin Owens at SummerSlam and give him, guess what, folks? Television time! Awesome. WWE working backwards, as always. We know the fucking problem. WWE's gonna give us more of the fucking problem. Kofi Kingston versus Samoa Joe. He defeats Samoa Joe for the WWE title. Did we expect anything else? Seriously, did we expect anything else but the decision that we got tonight? Samoa Joe might as well rename himself Samoa Wyatt. Or Bray Joe. Which one you like better? Either one of them works for me. This was awful. Joe is a badass. WWE makes him look like a bitch. Ridiculous. Joe should be a WWE champion. And he's not. And he will never be. For whatever reason. I guess he's not part of the Samoan dynasty. Or he's not from the part of Samoa where they all grow these fucking force-fed political fucking agendas like Roman Reigns. Where's he from? He's Samoan. He's big. He can wrestle. He can talk. Why isn't he a champion? Did he not eat enough pancakes? With the New Day winning the titles before, I was hoping that Kofi Kingston lost the title here. God forbid. God forbid. Kofi immediately charges and dropkicks Joe into the corner to start the match. Joe comes right out of the corner and levels Kofi with a clothesline. Joe with some strikes, some chops in the corner. Joe then sweeps Kofi's leg and he goes down bad on his knee. Not like it really mattered anyway. Joe works Kofi around and chokes him with the middle rope. Referee gets in his face to stop the shit. Joe targeted Kofi's fingers after the middle finger incident on SmackDown Live, which they conveniently blacked out here as they showed the replay, but it was okay live on television. Some fucking new era we got here at WWE, folks. The pussy era. To Kofi's hand did Joe, put it underneath the steel steps. And he stomped on the steps while yelling at Kofi, "Where's your finger now?" Sounds like a WWE champion to me. Kofi tried to come back with some typical offense. Kofi up top, crossbody, cover, 2 count. Joe with a beautiful snap power slam for a 2 count. Thing of beauty. It's like Randy Orton snap power slam, but better. Because it's Samoa Joe. Joe with a powerbomb transitioned into an STF with Joe pulling back on the fingers because that's what a beast does. Just a lovely spot for Joe. Joe starts to mock Kofi and the crowd with slow hand clap. Get Alex Marvez in there. Sure, he'll love that at the fucking PGA Open. PGA Tour, US Open, whatever the fucking golf tournament he's calling. Fucking Alex Marvez is terrible, huh? He gets caught in an SOS for a 2 count. Sets up trouble in paradise. Kofi got caught in a coquina clutch. Kofi tried to step up to the top rope to escape, Bret Hart style, and Joe turned it into a Uranage, followed up with a senton. Would not want to take a senton from Samoa Joe, man. I would not. Fans start a dueling chant at this point. We want Lesnar, while others were chanting, we don't. No, we don't. So we got, we want Lesnar. No, we don't. Be careful what you wish for, you Philadelphia fucking cretins. You see what you did? Kofi literally wins out of nowhere with an anticlimactic Trouble in Paradise. And Samoa Joe should go to Paradise down in Jacksonville. Sure, Tony Khan would welcome him with open arms. Ridiculous. Joe is a loser. Should have never been in this match to begin with. Don't even know why he got a WWE title match. Maybe Ricochet. Ricochet just lost the United States title. Maybe we'll get him and Kofi at SummerSlam. It happened to Joe. Why can't it happen to Ricochet now? Logic. WWE's logic. Main event time. At this point, I couldn't wait for this show to be over. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch defeated Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. Nice shot of Lacey's ass in the open of this match. I wonder why. Rollins and Becky unload on Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans with kendo sticks after Lacey tried to initially hit Rollins with one. He caught her, and she tried to seductively rub his manly chest. She was flirting with Rollins. Clearly, this didn't happen to be sitting very well with Becky Lynch. With Lacey running her hands along his chest in a very sexual manner, Becky said, "Fuck you, bitch. Get your hands off my man." Double suicide dives by Rollins and Becky on the outside, and they are completely in control up until this point. More dueling chants from the Philadelphia Clowns in the Wells Fargo Center. We want Lesnar. No, we don't. Again, be careful what you wish for, folks. You put the idea in WWE's head, and they're going to run with it. Rollins tried for a dive again on Corbin, but he was hit with a steel chair. Corbin was taunting Becky and blast Rollins across the back with the steel chair, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Chair to the midsection as well with the chair. Corbin wanted to chokeslam Rollins on the tops of 2 chairs that were facing back to back. I'm not sure if you guys remember it, back in Philadelphia, of all places, at NXT TakeOver Philadelphia, it was Aleister Black and Adam Cole in a Extreme Rules match. That one match was more extreme than anything on this fucking show. And Adam Cole, I believe, took a Ushigoroshi on top of the steel chairs in the same position they were positioned here in this match. Meanwhile, Adam Cole was a beast who took that spot foolishly, and we didn't see it done here. That's the difference between NXT and the main roster, folks. They're not extreme. They're not extreme. So there you go. We got the tops of the 2 chairs that did not come into play. Rollins countered, ate a DDT anyway on a chair in return for missing that spot from Corbin. Corbin sets up the chair in between the turnbuckles now, and his plan backfires against him as Rollins throws him into the chair and then tags his girlfriend, by the way. I'm not sure if you know, but they're dating, folks. Becky and Rollins are a couple. Not sure if you remember that. Becky blasts Lacey with the steel chair of her own. Bulldog on the chair to Lacey. Beck exploded to Lacey on 2 steel chairs. Becky places a chair across Lacey's chest and leg drops Lacey off the second turnbuckle with her leg coming across her face with the steel chair. Corbin tries to stop Becky off the top rope. Rollins throws a chair at Corbin, and he's looking at it like a fucking dumbass. What is this? Rollins just threw me a steel chair, and what am I supposed to do with this? Rollins threw him a steel chair, and he's looking at it like it's a fucking porno magazine. Like a dumbass. Becky hits a Van Daminator off the top rope on Corbin. Nice spot. Lacey hits a springboard elbow and a moonsault on Becky. Lacey was bleeding at this point. I don't know if it was from the steel chair spot, but her 2 front teeth were all bloodied, covered in blood. Nice look there for the lady of NXT, right? Nice and sassy. That's what you get for wanting an Extreme Rules match, honey. Rollins puts 2 tables next to each other. He pulls 2 tables out from underneath the ring. He gives one to Becky. They set them up side by side on the entrance side of the ring, the entrance ramp side of the ring. They took too much time setting these tables up. Looks like they were flirting with one another. I don't know. Maybe they're going to use tables later. Maybe they'll do it on a table later. I don't know. But they wasted too much time here. Corbin and Evans take advantage. Becky goes through the steel steps, and Rollins goes into the barricade. Corbin pulls 2 kendo sticks from underneath the ring, and both Evans and Corbin smash Rollins with both kendo sticks. Becky comes in for the save, and they execute double choke slams on both Rollins and Becky. Corbin and Lacey wanted to put both through the table on the outside, and they eat double suplexes on the steel ramp instead from Rollins and Becky. Both are now placed, Corbin and Becky are now placed on these tables. Becky leg drops Lacey through the table, and Rollins hits a beautiful frog splash through the table on Baron Corbin. Rollins with Corbin back in the ring. He went for the stomp. Corbin turned it into a powerbomb and then a deep six. Becky Lynch breaks up the pinfall. Folks, this was the best part of the entire 4-hour Extreme Fools pay-per-view. I kid you not. This one spot is worth fast-forwarding all the way through. Believe me. Baron Corbin is finally a heel. After all this time, he's finally a fucking heel. For the first time in his career, he didn't have go-away heat. And what was the best part, in my honest opinion, of this 4-hour shit show, Corbin delivered an end of days to Becky Lynch. Gorgeous. Absolutely a thing of beauty. She sold it like a fucking savage. Corbin looked on at Rollins and said, "What are you going to do about it, you piece of shit?" For the first time in my life, I can actually say on this night, I'm a fan of Baron Corbin. Fucking fantastic. Rollins with kendo sticks, chairs, he beat the shit out of Baron Corbin. 3 stomps, that was it. Both Becky and Rollins retain. Lesnar comes out with Heyman. Set to cash in, 3 German suplexes, bell rings, F5, Lesnar wins the Universal title. Extreme Rules is in the books. Why did they waste all the effort to take the title off of Brock Lesnar to put it back on Brock Lesnar going into SummerSlam? Was it Fox? Is it the Fox Sports deal and the new move for WWE with SmackDown Live? Is it because Rollins' title reign was failing on Monday Night Raw and they figured Brock Lesnar's going to bring in better ratings than Seth Rollins? How can someone bring in better ratings if he's never fucking there? Does this have to do with Paul Heyman? Is this his new initiative? Is someone else on Paul Heyman's radar that's going to get over by beating Brock Lesnar? Are we going back to Roman Reigns at SummerSlam? Are we going back to Braun Strowman at SummerSlam? Are we getting Rollins at SummerSlam against Lesnar? Are we getting Kofi versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam? I don't know. I just don't see the logic in giving someone like Brock Lesnar the title after you did so much to take it off of him. I don't get it. All you needed to do was keep the title on Seth Rollins, have him fail a cash-in, and then book Rollins versus Bray Wyatt at SummerSlam with Wyatt winning the Universal title and going on a Monster Kane-like run. Would that have been so difficult? This pay-per-view was below average at best, people. 4 out of 10, if you ask me. It had its ups. It peaked at the SmackDown Live Tag Team title match. It did. Other than that, terrible booking decisions. Just downright fucking boring. Ricochet and AJ Styles did not deliver in a match that I thought should have been a show stealer. It did not. A boring last man standing match. A boring women's title match on SmackDown Live. Kofi Kingston and Samoa Joe was a disappointment. Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens, 5 seconds. I mean, the best match on the fucking show was probably the opening match with The Undertaker and Roman Reigns. I don't understand you people. What was good about this show? There was no redeeming qualities of this show. If you ask me, JD, would you go back and watch it again? The answer is no. So to me, that's not a good show. That's not a good show. As far as I'm concerned, the best show of the weekend, and I'm not sucking their dick, it's because they have better in-ring action. AEW was the better show of the weekend. Evolve and WWE, respectively, came nowhere close to AEW. I'm sorry, folks. Extreme Rules was not good. It had its ups, few ups, many downs. Monday Night Raw is going to be a very crucial show on Monday night. This is the most important Raw of the year. If WWE doesn't deliver, expect me to sit here on Monday night and shit all over it. You ask for change. This is the change that WWE is going with into their new direction. Do you think it's the change that is necessary? The answer is no. The answer is no. WWE has set themselves up to show you that change is not coming. It's not coming. As far as I'm concerned, Bischoff and Heyman were hired simply as puppets for Vince McMahon. There's no way that anyone could see change is on the way. I don't see it. Until I see it, I will not believe anything. You all told me, give it time. After Extreme Rules, they're taking their positions. We're going to see tomorrow. We're going to see tomorrow. If the show's good, I'll let you know. If the show's bad, you're going to get a typical Monday Night Raw review every single week that you already get from me, shitting on this show. Brock Lesnar, The New Day, AJ Styles, those are not decisions creatively that are going to set them up for the proper change. I'm sorry. It's going to be tomorrow. Crucial. Very crucial tomorrow. We're going to talk about it tomorrow on Monday Night Raw. I'm getting out of here, guys. Thank you so very much. Hit that thumbs up. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206 on both Twitter and Instagram. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Go and check out all the other videos that you might have missed off the script on Friday, where we talk about Vince McMahon, Paul Heyman, and Eric Bischoff, and SummerSlam plans. Fight for the Fallen on Saturday, the podcast for Fight for the Fallen. Evolve, uploaded today before Extreme Rules. Go and check it out. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for Monday Night Raw. Remember, folks, we are on the road to SummerSlam. Get your t-shirts. barbershopwindow.com/off-the-script. Use code BSHOP20 for 20% off your Summer Scam t-shirts. Thank you guys so very much. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw. See you then.